Welcome to episode 319 of the Various and Sundry Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live from the Vault Studio, the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary, by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man who is pushing through sleep deprivation, John Scott Sloat.
Yeah, just one night of rough sleep with the little one.
Yeah. Wouldn't go down after the Super Bowl, huh?
Well, I think he was pretty excited the Patriots lost.
Yeah, well.
I think he was upset Sam Darnold wasn't named MVP.
Come on. Did you watch the game with others or just at your own home?
Normally we have people over to watch the Super Bowl. However, our house is in boxes right now.
Yeah.
And so it was not conducive to having groups of folks over.
Understandable.
So, no, we watched it by ourselves. You forgot your cup.
I forgot my coffee. This is no bueno.
Do you want to share my coffee?
I do not.
Okay. I mean, don't say I didn't offer.
You really don't. That was not a sincere offer. That really wasn't. It just wasn't. Hopefully the voice will hold. Yes. Well, yeah, we had our, we always host the small group
Super Bowl
party. Yeah. So that means you didn't get, did you manage to do any food special for this, or was just like survival mode?
I got some. It was survival mode, but it was store-bought buffalo chicken dip.
Okay.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
In a pinch.
In a pinch, yeah.
You work with what you got.
That's right. Did you DoorDash it?
Instacart.
Okay.
Instacarted it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just following up on our episode from last week.
Yeah. Any feedback about that episode?
No.
I haven't no emails, no texts, no nothing.
No. No nasty looks that I'm aware of. So.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, if you'd like to contact the show and share with us your favorite Super Bowl party appetizer, food, whatever, you can find us on X at VNSPod. You can email the show, variousandsundrypodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Facebook and on YouTube. And we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating on whatever platform you access the show.
Yeah. Do you remember the year we did the jalapeno poppers?
Of course.
That was a good year.
It was a good year.
I think the official title was Atomic Buffalo Turds.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
No, they were good.
They were.
I remember Steven Cincinnati was a big fan.
He was.
I think he had 3 or 4.
Well, I mean, they were good. I can't fault the man for that. All right, John, let's talk some sports. We'll start with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So Seahawks beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
And 90% of America rejoiced.
Yeah. More than 90.
Not the most entertaining football I've ever watched.
The fourth quarter was pretty entertaining. A lot of action in the fourth quarter, but before that, you're right. There wasn't much.
Yeah. Patriots just could not do anything offensively.
No, they could not. They could not run the ball. They could not throw the ball.
No.
Drake May kept getting hit.
Yes. Yeah. So, Sam Darnold did not play well enough to be named the MVP.
No, he didn't.
I think he played pretty well given the number of times he had defenders in his face to not throw an interception.
It seemed to me that both defensive coordinators looked at the opposition and said, if we can get to the quarterback consistently, we will win this game.
Yeah,
which is kind of the truth in any football game if you get to the quarterback enough. But they seem to be locking down on receivers. They wanted tight coverage, both teams, and it seems like they were going to force the quarterback to make a mistake. And I think the Seahawks were more successful than the Patriots in that regard.
Yes, though the big difference was Seattle found a running game, and New England never did.
Yes. I actually think the MVP should have been the kicker for the Seahawks. The former Jet, by the way.
Of course.
He was the former Jet.
Of course.
And was on our team before he was cut for some reason. He was excellent with the Jets. They cut him and he ended up on Seattle.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because that's just always going to happen to the Jets.
Yeah. You know who else besides the Jets that is, kicking themselves?
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings are a problem. Yeah.
I mean, you had that guy who led you to the playoffs last year.
And he wanted to come back.
And he wanted to come back, and you decided, nope, we're going to go with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that was a poor decision. That was a sunk cost fallacy decision.
Okay, you want to explain that for our listeners?
They had made a draft pick of J.J. McCarthy,
Yes.
and then they realized they had something great with Sam Darnold. Like, gosh, we've already spent so much draft capital on J.J. McCarthy. We need to give him a shot.
Yeah.
And that was a big, big mistake.
Huge.
The 49ers, I think, actually had because they did this with who was the quarterback they drafted a number of years ago? Trey Lance?
Yes.
And they jettisoned him pretty quickly for Brock Purdy, who's turned out to be much, much better.
Yes. Yeah. At one level, you can understand we've invested a lot of money in this guy, and so we need to figure out if he's going to be the guy. But, it still seems like it would have made sense to re-sign Darnold.
Yeah.
Even for a year.
Yep.
And obviously they didn't. And, yeah, it works out well for the Seahawks. What's striking to me is normally you think it takes elite-level quarterback play to win a Super Bowl, to get you to a Super Bowl and to win it. Not this year.
No, it was elite defense.
It was elite defense. And I do think that Darnold is better than, say, Trent Dilfer. But he's kind of like the poster child for just manage the game and don't mess it up and let your defense just destroy teams. And
He's probably a top 15 quarterback.
Darnold?
Yeah.
Right now?
I'd probably say top 15.
So top. I mean, there's what?
Top half of the NFL. He's probably a top half quarterback.
32 teams.
Yeah, top 15, top 16 quarterback.
That's probably right.
Mm-hmm.
But no one,
He's not top 5.
and not top 10. Like I think he's pretty safely in that 11 to 16 range.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think that's probably right.
But hey, credit to him. He did what he was asked to do. Won a Super Bowl.
Did the interview after like a true professional. Well, the offense didn't play well. It was, shout out to our defense.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, even the Seahawks had the Offensive Player of the Year on their team in Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I think he had 2 catches?
He got banged up. Well, the Patriots have a very good cornerback who was glued to him.
Yes, but there were 2 plays that should have been touchdowns to him that Sam Darnold missed.
He overthrew. Yes.
Yeah. Well, one was the overthrow where JSN had broken free behind the defense, and Sam Darnold was under pressure.
Yeah.
Overthrew it.
Yep.
The other one was they tried basically a deep in route near the goal line, and the ball was late, and that allowed the corner to catch up and deflect the ball away. But anyway, my point in bringing that up is to say they won without playing well offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, Walker was really their only consistent. Walker and their kicker were their only consistent offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Walker reminded me a lot of Le'Veon Bell, just with
Yes.
the patience.
Yep.
And they made that comparison a few times on the broadcast, but
Yeah.
just sort of tiptoed his way through the tulips and then
Yes.
zipped through
Yep.
the hole when it opened
Yep,
up.
for sure. Something we do have to talk about when it comes to the Super Bowl. Let's talk commercials.
Yeah. Which ones did you like? There was only one that I really liked.
I don't know that any really stood out to me as that was amazing.
So one that I liked, the one that I really liked, that I think has more potential and could have more legs in the future, is the polar bear that chooses Pepsi.
Oh, really?
I thought that was very clever
Okay.
and funny. And then to have, the sort of the U2 concert debacle with meme with the polar bear drinking Pepsi, at the concert. I thought that was very, very funny.
Yeah,
I don't think they got everything out of it that they could have.
No.
But I think if they did a series of those commercials, I think it would be done well. I think it would be very funny.
Two trends that stood out to me. The first is it felt like there were fewer ads. Like, did Doritos do an ad?
I don't remember seeing one.
I don't remember seeing one.
That's right.
And they're like a staple every year.
They're very funny, yeah.
And the second, well, that's a part of the, like, I feel like there were some, like there was a Lay's ad. That was one of the better ones, again, which ties into my second observation.
It was like heartwarming.
Many more of the commercials, instead of going for humor, went for like the heartfelt, tug on the emotions thing.
Yeah.
And so that was an interesting twist in my mind. Less for like the slapstick, like humor stuff, and more on the like, let's tug at the heartstrings.
A lot of celebrities as well. A lot of celebrity appearances.
Did you like the Dunkin' commercial?
I mean, I got all the references, I think.
Yeah.
I was just confused.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm watching this happen going, what? Well, George Costanza was never in Friends.
Yeah.
And why is Tom Brady there?
Yeah.
As his current age? It was just very confusing.
Yeah. And what's Urkel doing in there?
Yeah. It was just a very confusing. It was like, hey, we have this nostalgia from the 90s. Let's throw them all into a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The Backstreet Boys made 2 appearances, once in a T-Mobile commercial, once in an AI commercial.
Yeah.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
No.
Not many beer commercials.
Yeah.
There were fewer beers
Yep.
commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, none of these like really stood out to me as like, oh, that's classic or epic. Some were good, and others just like, so be it.
There was they did an ad for The Mandalorian with I thought that was a Budweiser ad at first because they had them marching in like Clydesdales.
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally thought that was a Budweiser ad mashed up with Star Wars.
It felt like there were more movie ads this year, like anticipating upcoming movies.
Yeah, like Netflix had one for Brad Pitt that they didn't even give the title of.
Yep.
As far as I could tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy amount of money spent on those sort of things.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Super Bowl commercials? The game itself?
No, I did not really watch either halftime show, either the Apple Music halftime show. I mean, that one was on because it was on the same channel.
Right.
But it was all in Spanish, so I don't know what was said or what really happened.
Yes.
It looked like a pretty typical halftime show.
Yeah.
And then there was the other halftime show that I just didn't. I was holding a crying baby. I did not watch.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, anytime. So there's also the America the Beautiful and the national anthem.
Yeah.
I've heard of Charlie Puth.
Yep.
The other gal that sang America the Beautiful, never heard of her before in my life.
But see, welcome to the age where you're embracing the.
I'm not the demo.
Should I know who this person is? It's even more pronounced for me. Now, we had someone there who was mid-20s.
At your Super Bowl party.
Yes. And they knew who he was, and they knew who the female folk singer who did the America the Beautiful. They knew who she was. So
pre-game, there was a Green Day concert. I knew that one.
Yes. I was like,
I knew those words.
Why can't we have that for the halftime show.
Yeah. Or do what you need to do to get Taylor Swift out there.
Yeah.
It feels like it would be incredibly epic.
Yes. Yeah. It was on in the background, and then we looked up and there was some suggestive dancing, and we're like, okay, yep, we're just going to rewind a few frames and pause and then wait it out kind of thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, what a world. What a world. Let's talk Olympics.
Yeah. You haven't watched any, right?
No.
Okay. Let me.
I'm not as into the Winter Olympics, and over the weekend there were other things going on that had my attention. So I think now that we're into the week here, I'll probably start picking up some Olympics.
Opening ceremonies were kind of meh.
Yeah. I've never been interested in opening ceremonies.
Oh, love the opening ceremonies. Oh,
Never done anything for me.
they were pretty meh. It's better. I prefer meh over what happened in Paris,
Okay.
right? Where
Yes.
they, where they mocked.
Met over blasphemous potentially?
Yes. And so that was a positive step,
Okay. Yeah.
But beyond that, they were pretty meh. Probably the big news over the weekend was Lindsey Vonn
Yes.
fell with it. I watched that live at 5:30 in the morning,
Oh gosh.
and they were really pumping it up that Lindsey Vonn was making a return to downhill skiing,
Right.
and in 15 seconds she crashed and broke her leg.
Yeah. Well, she was skiing on a torn ACL.
Correct. But her leg did not give out. When she was skiing, her arm caught the gate is what happened.
Oh, okay.
And because her arm caught the gate, it spun her in the air, and she just didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
What was undersold was that America still won the gold in that event.
Okay.
Breezy Johnson.
That's got to be a nickname, right?
Yes, that's a nickname.
Okay.
I think it's Bria or something.
Okay.
But Breezy Johnson won the gold.
Interesting. Yeah. So, again, I've not watched, but I've seen some clips on social media of apparently they have drones.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That follow from behind.
It was pretty cool.
And so it gives you a completely different window into what that's like.
You get an understanding of how steep that slope is.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild, and how fast and they put the miles per hour on the screen as well, which they've done for years. But like they get up to 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yeah,
just
insane.
crazy.
I feel like more so than the Summer Olympics, most of the Winter Olympics, many of the Winter Olympics events are things that you're like, you got to be a little nuts to do that.
Death feels awful close in some of these events. Like you're not quite sure where he is, but you know the Grim Reaper's here.
Yes. Yeah. Between the skiing and the skeleton,
the luge,
the
bobsled,
all those where it's like, okay, you're going to hurtle down something that is pure ice.
Or even speed skating. All right, let me strap these knives to my feet.
Yes.
And go as fast as I can with a whole
ice
with a whole lot of other people around me.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm drawn to curling. It's just
seems like more of a gentleman's game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more strategy, but
it's something that you could see yourself on a lazy January afternoon, living in Minnesota, being like, "You want to get the stones out?
Yeah, you want to go over to the club? You want to go to the curling club?" But yeah,
I got the brooms in the closet, man. Let's go.
Or hockey. Let's strap basically the sharp knives to our feet, skate on the ice where we could hurt one another.
Yep.
Now let's get some sticks out.
Yes.
So that we can hit a very dangerous vulcanized rubber puck.
Yes.
At a guy with some padding on.
Yeah.
Right? That feels dangerous.
And they now wear, is it required to wear like the face shields?
Yes. For everybody.
But do those come all the way down? Or do they just come down to like the nose or something?
Just to the nose. Many. I think it's choice of the player, but.
Well, I know what my choice would be.
Give me the full cage. Give me the full cage.
Give me the bulletproof glass version of that.
But then you step into the Summer Olympics and you have like competitive walking, you know,
Yeah.
or flag football this coming year.
Yep.
Or
I mean, you do have the javelin, and you do have the discus and the shot put, things that throwing dangerous objects.
those feel far more controlled.
Sure.
Far more controlled than, let's go down this hill on skis at 80 miles an hour.
Agreed.
I don't think the Summer Olympics has a danger factor like that.
No.
Diving? No, not really.
Really? Because, I mean...
Not diving into ice.
No, you're definitely not.
Maybe that biking up on the walls, you know, where they go really fast.
That could be.
That's pretty scary.
All right. Well, maybe I'll have something more substantive to contribute to our discussion next week. So about the Olympics.
Yeah. Mixed doubles Americans have advanced past group stage to the playoffs.
Mixed doubles
curling.
Curling. Okay.
So that's one man, one woman.
Yeah.
From each team compete as a mixed doubles team.
All right. Have you gone to the curling club there in Fort Worth?
I have not. I've never been.
It's in your backyard, man.
It's 10 minutes from my current house.
Yeah. You got to get on that, because in a month or so you're not going to be.
I'm not going to be able to get out there on the ice.
No.
It's going to be so crowded.
No. Can you introduce your daughter to the wonderful world of curling at such a young age?
I mean, she's watching it with me at 5 a.m. You know, she's watching what's happening.
There you go. All right, John, time to get to our main topic. We are starting a new series on the minor prophets.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, something a little different. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to do kind of an introductory thing to the prophets today, and then we'll dive into actual minor prophets starting next week.
So who are the minor prophets, Matt?
Well, you've got 12 of them.
12 minor prophets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll go through each one of them.
Okay.
Some in more detail than others. Some are
quite short,
more minor than others, I suppose. Yeah.
This was a big insult to my brother when we were growing up. Like, my name's John, right? There's a gospel named after me.
Yeah.
My brother's name is James. There's an epistle named after him.
Yeah.
And then my other brother's name is Joel. And I used to tease him that, like, actually, you're just a minor prophet.
Christian school humor there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was no humor about it. It was a definite jab.
Okay. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about the prophets in general. So, and like I said, I think the game plan is we'll do about half of them, and then we'll take a break and do some other things, then circle back and pick up the rest of the minor prophets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the tentative plan, at least.
Okay. Where do you want to start with these minor prophets?
Let's just talk prophets in general.
Okay. So minor and major? Do they call them major prophets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, I mean, I think in one sense the place to begin is to think about Moses as kind of the OG prophet.
The most major prophet.
Yeah. So
of the Old Testament, at least.
Yeah, he's presented as kind of the prophet par excellence. You know, the originator, the OG,
the one to strive for.
Yeah, that Deuteronomy 18 talks about that God will raise up a prophet like Moses down the road, and there are a series of prophets that follow Moses, but he's definitely presented as kind of the standard by which all prophets are judged and sort of evaluated against.
Okay.
And it's interesting when you read, you've got Deuteronomy 18, God promises to raise up a prophet like Moses. And then you get to the end of Deuteronomy 34, and there's already been this sort of like succession scene where he's passing the torch to Joshua.
Sure.
And yet Deuteronomy 34 concludes with this statement of, there's never been a prophet like Moses.
Although we've been told that there's one is coming that's greater.
Yes. Yeah. So there's even sort of a future orientation to the end of the book of Deuteronomy.
Yeah, little cliffhanger.
We're still waiting.
Little cliffhanger there.
And of course, once you get to the New Testament, you see that is picked up and applied to Jesus. In particular, you see it's interesting when people go out and ask John, like John the Baptist, like, who are you? What are you doing? And they ask him, are you the prophet? And that's not just asking, are you a prophet in general? They're asking, are you that prophet, the prophet greater than Moses that's promised? That's in John.
So they're anticipating that
Yes.
prophet. Was there anticipation that would be the Messiah?
There were some strands of Second Temple Jewish thought that kind of merged those two figures together or put them together. But some of that depends too on how you see the Isaianic servant of the Lord. Some people see him as being described as a Moses figure who leads the people in a new Exodus. And there's some elements of truth to that. But the New Testament very clearly identifies Jesus as the prophet greater than Moses. It's hinted at in places in the Gospels. And then Acts 3, Peter explicitly identifies him as he was the prophet greater than Moses. So,
nice. What else about prophets?
So, in the basic sense, the prophets are God's spokesman.
Right, they speak on behalf of God.
That's right. They receive God's word and they speak to the people on behalf of Him. Another way of framing their activity is that they are covenant lawyers.
Okay, explain that a little bit.
So, one of the things the prophets regularly do is they indict Israel for their failure to keep the covenant. So they're, in that sense, prosecuting attorneys. They are indicting and saying, you're guilty. We're charging you with this. The Lord's going to find you guilty. And yet often there's also but there's still time to repent.
Yeah.
There's still time. You're guilty of these things. You've broken God's covenant. But there's still time. Turn from your wicked ways.
And not all prophets are necessarily towards Israel. The vast majority are.
Okay, so when I say Israel, I mean God's people in that sense. So Israel or Judah, depending on split kingdom there. Some operated towards both.
But like Jonah,
yes,
who's a pretty unique prophet.
Yes. His direct ministry was actually to the Ninevites.
Right.
And yet the book itself is clearly
didactic toward the Jews.
Didactic towards.
Sorry, let me define my terms here. It's meant to teach a lesson to the Jews.
There you go. Yes. Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
All right, we've covered Jonah. Who's next?
So, let me say a couple more things. We've talked about major and minor prophets. That's just more, honestly, it's not just sort of the length of their prophetic books. The minor prophets from a pretty early stage, it seems like those were grouped together and passed along and referred to as the 12, almost like they're their own sort of separate unit. And then other major prophetic books like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel were standalones essentially that were passed down.
So, quick question.
Yep.
The 12 thing.
Yep.
No relation to the Seahawks and
Okay.
Sorry. The apostles. No connection. Any sort of reference there when we get to the New Testament? They're going the 12 or the 12 apostles.
Well, obviously 12 is a very biblical number. You've got the 12 tribes, but I've not seen a compelling case that there's a direct link there. So.
Okay.
All right. And then obviously we've got both literary and non-literary prophets. So you've got figures like Elijah and Elisha, clearly identified as prophets, and yet we don't have any canonical scripture from them.
Yeah.
Here's a fun topic. What is prophecy? Let's dive into that a little bit.
Man, that's well. I mean, can I just take the low hanging fruit here?
Do it.
What is prophecy?
Do it.
It's basically telling the future, right? I mean, describing something that will happen unless there is repentance.
Yes.
Right. That's what I most naturally think of when I think of a prophet. Somebody who tells me something that will happen, or may happen if if you don't repent. Right. That's what I most naturally think of.
Yeah. So you've got, in the most basic sense, we already talked about that prophets are people who receive revelation from God and then communicate it on.
Sure.
And so, in the most basic sense, prophecy is revelation from God. And what's interesting is that I think when you actually read through the prophets, what you find is there's a lot more proclamation than strict prediction. In other words, there's a lot of, this is who the Lord is, this is what you've done, and here are some consequences that will flow from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily predictive. And of course, there are plenty of texts that are directly predictive of there's coming a time when this will happen or that will happen.
And I think that's at least me, that's what I most naturally think of when I think of prophecy, right? Is prediction of the future in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and that's an element for sure, but I don't even think it's the primary element of prophecy.
So the primary being basically the communication of God's
revelation
to the people.
To the people of God, primarily, though there are plenty of examples of God inspiring a prophet to speak a prophecy towards a pagan nation, typically of judgment. But even then, there are oracles of restoration in there of like, I'm going to do things that are actually going to be redemptive towards you. So,
yeah.
But so in terms of the literary prophets that we have, 3 time periods, right, where they were active. And really the benchmark here is exile. Like
Israel is its own kingdom. Israel is conquered and people are moved out to Babylon, and then people have returned from Babylon to the land, right? That's sort of those are sort of the 3.
There's 2 exiles, right? There's the northern kingdom of Israel, conquered by the Assyrians. Some are taken off to exile, others are left behind and intermarry with foreigners. So that's sort of still considered pre-exilic, because when we talk about exile, we're primarily talking about the southern kingdom of Judah being conquered by Babylon, temple destroyed, taken off. And then there's the post-exilic. So there are several prophets that do their ministry after the people have returned from exile. Those are the last few that you see in the minor prophets in particular. Prophets like Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi in particular. So, all right. Let's jump to a couple thoughts on interpreting the prophets as we wrap this up.
Okay.
Some of this is going to seem pretty straightforward, I hope. We must understand each passage and book within its context.
Okay.
That's just kind of hermeneutics 101.
Yep.
We must understand each passage and book as it was intended by its author, both human and divine.
Pretty standard.
Yes. The bigger question...
Pretty standard for you and me, I should say.
The bigger question in that mix is... what is the relationship between the human authorial intent and the divine authorial intent?
Mm-hmm.
Are those an exact one-to-one match, or can and does the divine author mean more than the human author understood at the time, and was even understandable at the time that the human prophet wrote it? That's a question. My answer is yes. But it's widely debated. Widely debated. So, another feature of the prophets that need to take account for is literary devices and symbolic language. All over the place. Lots of symbolic language. Lots of literary devices. And, of course, anytime you get into symbolic language, you have interpretive disagreements, almost guaranteed.
Yeah. And at times it's hard to tell, is he being literal? How symbolic is he being?
Yeah.
It just becomes hard.
Yes, for sure. And part of that, too, is our conceptual framework today is very different from the conceptual framework of the prophets and their original audiences. So they will use symbolic imagery and language that isn't immediately understandable to us, but would have been immediately understandable to its original audience. And so it takes a little bit of work to kind of drill down and get to the meaning of that symbolism. Next, you need to understand the continuities and discontinuities between the time of the prophet and today, as well as within redemptive history.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go a slight direction where I'm going to make you uncomfortable.
I love it. I love everything.
One of the places where I think you see this is in attempts to apply texts from the prophets to contemporary issues in our culture today.
I am uncomfortable. Almost as uncomfortable as you looked when I brought up the Super Bowl halftime show.
So I'll simply say that I do see a lot of poor interpretive moves that almost just make it seem like, yep, 8th century Israel, exactly the same as 21st century America. Just go straight across. Do not pass go. Go directly to, just straight there. And I want to say, well, let's understand the original context. Let's understand the redemptive context. And before we make too quick of an application there. All right, I'm done making you feel uncomfortable. Need to understand the minor prophets as a whole.
As sort of like their own genre.
As their own sort of like
corpus. There we go.
Yeah.
That's probably better than genre.
Yep. Yeah. And some good work has been done in the last, 35, 40 years to help show the interconnectedness of the prophets, repeated phrases and words and that kind of thing that show an intentionality that indicate that these are to be understood together. And then lastly, and this is just a basic statement of my fundamental hermeneutic, we need to understand the prophets in a gospel-centered, Christ-focused way. That Luke 24 and Jesus' words that all of Scripture points to him, that applies to the minor prophets.
Question for you.
Yeah.
A little bit of out of left field here. You've talked before.
Just because I made you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean you have to return the favor.
Well, I don't think you'll be that uncomfortable, and
Okay.
I think you could have an interesting answer to this, but it's not on the rundown. I've heard you talk often, and I think convincingly, of reading the Old Testament in sort of the Hebrew canonical order.
Mm-hmm.
Are the minor prophets mixed up in any way in the Hebrew canonical order, and is there any significance?
What do you mean mixed up?
Are mixed up from our what we would see in like our ESV Bibles?
No.
They're in the same order.
They're in the same order.
Same spots? Is there anything before? I know because I know First and Second Chronicles comes last, correct?
Yes. So, the canonical order in the Hebrew Bible is you've got Torah, first 5 books, what we call Pentateuch, and then you've got former prophets, which is part of what we call our historical books. So, Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings.
Okay.
And then you've got the latter prophets, which are what we traditionally think of as the prophets, with the major prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. There's actually some, when you look at lists of order of books, there is some debate in Jewish sources as to the ordering of those. And then the 12 minor prophets. And so after that, then you have the writings.
Psalms.
Which we tend to call, at least parts of it, the wisdom literature.
Yeah.
So Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs, Job. But things that we also don't think of, like Daniel, we put that in the
Oh yeah, we do put that in the prophet
the prophets category, and then First and Second Chronicles, and then Ezra, Nehemiah. Ezra.
You forgot Ruth.
Well, Ruth goes in there too. Yeah.
Okay.
Ruth goes in there too. So, to answer your question,
They're in the same order. They're just moved up in the order.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, there's a brief introduction. Next week,
What are we tackling next week?
I think we're doing Hosea.
Hosea.
Yeah. Might have to be careful that we don't get the E rating on the on the pod.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I'll have to watch my words.
Yeah, you're the issue. All right, John. Time now for This Day in Sports History.
All right, this day in sports history, February the 10th,
I tried to go heavy on Olympics for you, John.
2026. Thank you
I know
very much.
I know you love Olympics.
1920, baseball outlaws all pitches involving tampering with the ball. I assume this would be the spitball.
And probably like cutting it with your fingernail or something like
Yeah.
that, or using some
I mean, that still happens. Let's be real.
yeah, it was just made illegal in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it happened in the 86 NLCS, by the Houston Astros, but we still won. Doesn't matter. 1932, Sweden goes 1-2 in the 18K cross-country event at Lake Placid Winter Olympics. Sven Utterstrom, how'd I do?
Not bad.
Wins gold ahead of teammate Axel Wikström.
So I think that might be
Vik?
yeah,
Would it be more of a V?
Maybe.
Wikström? Wikström?
Maybe.
All right. 1969, Louisiana State University, Pete Maravich scores 66 despite his team losing to Tulane 101-94.
Yeah, that dude was a bucket. You ever
Yeah.
seen old highlights, clips?
Yeah,
of him? Yeah.
I've seen
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. Pre-3-point line, right?
Yes. And still has
Tons of scoring
records that are going to be difficult to beat.
1984, the Soviet cross-country skier Nikolay Zamayatov wins a career fourth Olympic gold medal when he takes out the 30K event in Sarajevo, 3 gold in Placid in 80.
I guess that means his third gold was in Lake Placid in 1980, maybe? I'm not sure.
I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
1996, IBM chess-playing computer Deep Blue becomes the first computer to win a game of chess against reigning human chess champion Garry Kasparov. Goodness. I do love me some chess.
We found that out last week.
Yeah. Well, you might learn more this week. 2014, German alpine skier Maria Halfreich retains her Olympic combined title, Vancouver 2010, when she, Nicole Hops, beat of Austria by 0.4 seconds.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. The source I pull these from is not always the best. When she beats Nicole Hosp of Austria.
Ah, okay.
All right, who do you like?
Oh, boy. Whew. Well, it's a tough one. I don't feel like I can give it to an AI.
Agreed. So Deep Blue is out.
Deep Blue is out as much as I love chess. I don't know how I'd give it to the baseball. Like, I don't know what would be in the title of the episode.
I don't know either.
Spitball Band, or
yeah, maybe.
I don't know what I'd do there.
All right, so are you going with a Swedish cross-country skier, Pete Maravich, Soviet cross-country?
I'm not going with the Soviet.
Principled stand.
Yes.
Or the German alpine skier?
Probably the Swedish alpine skier. Sven Utterstrom.
Let's do it.
Am I getting that right? Sven Utterstrom.
Yeah, that's probably right. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right.
Sven it is.
All right.
Probably not going to come across Sven here again.
Seems unlikely. One thing you liked?
I have started using chess.com.
Okay.
Which they have a lovely app. They do daily chess puzzles. You have a coach that interacts with you. You can play bots. I am playing an individual in the Ukraine right now. On the chess website.
So an individual who apparently is not on the front lines.
I don't think that's necessarily clear.
Or maybe someone who is and is just making, doing their moves in the midst of.
Yes. I mean, you have to play every 3 days. You have to make a move every 3 days.
Wow. So that can take a while.
It could take a while. Yeah.
Okay.
You get 4 or 5 of these going, and
yeah. How good are you at chess?
I'm not very good.
Okay.
Not how good do you think I am at chess?
I don't know how much you've played.
I have not played a ton. I feel like I'm learning a lot by playing more.
Yeah.
I find the strategy of it all very fascinating.
Yep.
But I don't see everything either.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Do you do much chess playing?
No.
Like enough to get by. Like you know the rules and how the game works.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not very good.
Okay.
Because I don't play very much. So I think I could enjoy it if I played more. But yeah. My one thing I liked is I'm going to go with a game that we played with our friends when we were in Columbus a few weeks ago. It's called Blank Slate. Have you heard of this game?
No.
So each player is given a mini, think of it as a mini dry erase card that you write your answer on. And someone pulls a card from the center, and it's got a word with a blank before it or a blank after it. So it could say check and then blank. And then everyone writes a word to fill in the blank. So what comes to your mind when you think check?
Mate.
There you go.
It's one of the first things.
Yes. So so you put mate down. I might put check out, as in like check out from a hotel.
Sure. I was going to say check, please.
Yes. There you go. So everyone puts down their word, and then you do the reveal. And if only one other person put the exact same word as you, you both get 3 points. If more than one other person puts the same word as you, everyone who put that word just gets 1 point. And if nobody puts your word, you get nothing.
Oh, so you want to match with somebody.
Yes.
But you don't want to match with too many people.
Correct. So there's a little bit of strategy in I need to pick a word that somebody else is probably going to get. But maybe not go with the most obvious because anyway. So that was a very enjoyable game. I think you played to like 25 points. And you go again.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is my one thing I liked. All right, John, we talked the Super Bowl. We talked Olympics. We talked about the prophets, the PH prophets, not the F prophets.
Good word.
We talked about Sven Utterstrom. We talked about chess.com, and we talked about Blank slate. And so I think, by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. And so all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless y'all real good.
Later.